just like that. Just like that. The blink of an eye, summer's pretty much over. I mean, not like the season, but, dude, August 5th? August 6th, even worse. Dude, some of you guys are starting school in 1 week, 2 weeks. I know I say this a lot, but it's very true. When summer ended, there's a pretty solid number of people where they said they were going to lock in. And I know locking in is such a TikTok-y kind of buzzword, but it's still legit. So it's not this isn't like your summer, this isn't like your blizzard bag homework, if you know what I'm talking about there. This isn't like your your semester-long project where you can suddenly just cram it in at the last minute. And unfortunately, that's just not the way it works. That is not the way it's going to work. You're not going to be able to condense your gains into such a short period of time to say I took the last 2 months off, but I went really hard this last week, so I'm good. As legit as that week may be, anything to do with legit long-term progress, and I'm going to relate it to lifting because that's what I fucking talk about, but it's really anything. Well, the lifting and the diet side of things. One awesome week can pretty much be fucking undone by, training not so much, but the diet, a good week of dieting can be completely canceled out by 3 days of, let's just say, unbridled calorie consumption, or lack thereof. If you're trying to bulk up and you had 1 week of eating in a crazy big fucking deficit, you're chowing down, you did really good, and then the next 3 days you barely eat anything. Guess what, man? I'm reasonably well versed in the ins and outs of bulking up, so I can tell you, at least from my experience, that's not gonna work. Your scale, your weight on the scale, it might go up just a touch. You're getting pretty carved up, you're getting full, you're getting everything, you're nice and fucking, you've maximized your muscular glycogen volume, so you're just fucking, I'm doing good, man. I feel big, I feel strong, I'm getting crazy pumped. And then for 3 days, you're like, man, I don't really feel like eating, man. Whatever, I'll just have a sandwich. Not good. Not good. So, even that being the fact is it sort of acts as a motivator for me, because I'll tell you something, when I'm bulking up right now, if I have a day where my calorie intake is scrappy, it's going to affect the lift. It's legitimately going to affect the lift to the point of affecting the pump. And I know I say that a lot, but dude, it's not fun. If I come into the gym, let's say today, nice, carved up, full of fluids, well hydrated, well rested, this is a good lift, music blaring, going hard, that's perfect. And then if tomorrow I get off track with the preparation, I don't eat all my food, I don't get enough fluids in my system, I stay up too late, I don't, let's say, stay up too late, skip cardio in the morning because I was I gotta sleep in a little bit. Everything in the fucking prep stage of the workout has been completely uprooted and is off track. I don't know if you know how, I guess if you're a fan of The Bear, you would get what I'm saying. But if all your prep cooks are scrapping, if they're not giving you your very finely chopped, shallots and garlic and everything else, it doesn't matter how awesome the chef is going to be. That meal is going to come out off. It'll come out off. It'll still be there. And that's the sneaky part about it, is you can still work out if everything is fucking off kilter. You can still go to the gym and push yourself hard if you didn't get a lot of sleep. You can still go to the gym hard if you didn't, drink enough fucking fluids. And you can still go hard if you didn't eat all your calories. But what's going to happen is afterwards, once you're out of the gym, once your muscular stimulation has been completed, you're not going to have the resources at your fucking disposal to really properly fucking recover and over recover to the point of actually depositing muscle onto your frame. I was talking to somebody yesterday And I asked him, like, what kind of I pretty much just asked him what kind of a lifter he was, you know, because I was like, you know, so what kind of lifting you doing, man? Like bodybuilder, just like weight, whatever. He was wearing a certain outfit. It made me think he might have been like an Olympic lifter or something. I don't know. But it kind of made me realize, like, dude, regardless of whatever your style is, in a way, everybody's kind of fucking being a bodybuilder. You know, even if you're not, even if you don't identify as that much of a lunk, odds are everybody's at the gym because they want to gain a reasonable amount of muscle, right? Get a little bit leaner, just have a fucking solid athletic build. So that's where I think the bodybuilder tips can be kind of applied very widely to all sorts of different, different vectors of training. You know, let's say you're a wrestler. Let's say you're a rock climber. Having a strong back and strong grip strength, that is probably going to apply. And it doesn't relate so much directly later on down the line of progress. You know, once you're fucking, I mean, there's not like a specific number, but when you go from like a 160 pounder to a 180 pounder, if you gain 20 pounds of lean tissue over the course of however many years that takes, then you will get substantially stronger, purely for the reason of just having more muscle to be able to recruit when you're lifting shit. Now, when you get up to like 250 pounds, that's a little different. The muscle's really just for show. That's kind of the whole point. Like that's the end result in a way. But it still stands that in that beginning stage, when your strength and size are like basically fucking perfectly correlated, it has legit benefits. So even if you're a casual lifter, I think you still got just you got a little bit of bodybuilder in you, just a touch. But plan for today's lift. I've been holding it from you, right? I've been keeping you away. You haven't had a massive glimpse into the shoulder training for quite some time, and that is for good reason. My shoulders are too fucking big. You know, when I do a back double bicep pose, or that's really the one that's the most overpowering. Especially when I get a shoulder pump, my shoulders are fucking taken over. Like the roundness is much bigger than my arms, so I barely hit them. But barely hitting them, that's different than never hitting them. And I've got an itch. I've got an itch to hit shoulders today, and not only because I want to. I haven't been in this gym for a long time, and I kind of want to get the nostalgia factor for every muscle on my frame. So I'm not going to skip anything this week. Not going to skip the back day, not going to skip the shoulder day. Leg day is going to be a long one because I'm going to make sure I have a full calf workout and a full adductor workout tied into it, because I do not mind sitting down there. I was saying in the last chest day at the end of it, I wish I could have kept doing chest for like another fucking 2 hours. But there's really just no point. Once you've reached your, what I would kind of consider maximal amount of like fatigue and kind of just pumpedness, there's not really anywhere else to go from there. So that's the short and sweet of it, right? Make sure that the sets that you do get to hit on your way to that end state of the workout, make sure those are fucking solid. But let's get started. No better start than reverse pec deck. Probably like 4 or 5 sets. A little heavier. Okay. Maybe a little lighter actually, but more. Okay. Two more. Two more, then migrate down to the basement. Okay. All right, let's go down. All right, so those were nice, reasonably light squeezing rear delt sets, which are all fine and good. Like, I think that's, well, I mean, that's kind of the same for every fucking muscle. But I don't think it's the only way to go about it. So even though it is a small muscle group, you know, I would never try to do like a max rep set. Like, oh, I've never done the 70s for 10 on rear delt flies. That's kind of not the point. But I do want to load them up with a little bit more weight. So that's where grabbing like the 50s, I think I'll just do the 55s, and then doing bent over rear delt raises will come into play very nicely. Usually I stand up to do them, but I think I might just sit down. Yeah, that'll be better. For whatever reason, I was rear delt pilled from the beginning. So even in my first couple months of lifting, I actually got it through my head. I must have listened to some guy say something in a video, but having big rear delts makes your shoulders look much rounder over the back. Because everybody has this like fucking chunk of front delt, but not everybody has it capped over the edge and it like ties into their traps. So that's what I'm aiming for here. Okay. That might even be too fucking heavy. Let's drop it to the 45s. Okay. Two more. Okay. Last one. Okay. Let's move on. Switch gears to side delts. So I love these machines. The only problem is doing both arms at once. It's a little tricky. It's like when I do them both at once, I kind of feel a lot of traps, not really getting my side delts firing. Simple fix, just do one arm at a time. I do the same shit with a lot of preacher curl machines. Getting into this position for a curl, it's not very natural. Now, if I do one arm, I can stay nice and open and actually fucking hit my targeted muscle. So, same shit here. I'll go back and forth. 5 reps, 5 reps, 5 reps. Do one of those style sets. No one more. I think next set I have to do all of one side at once. This sack's a little bit too light to the point where I feel like I'm just doing a lot of pump reps. A few more though. Yeah. Oh. I think two more of these would be nice. But what kind of shoulder day would it be if I didn't do a little shoulder press? I think I'll just do one set though. If my shoulders are overpowered, my fucking front delts are unbeatable. So one set will be more than enough. There we go. So the only front delt stimulation I get now is like the very, very moderate activation that comes with a lot of pressing and probably to do with a little bit of curls also. I mean, you got to think if I'm sitting here and I curl a weight in front of my body, it wants to swing down. And what muscle is going to fight against this swinging motion? Right, my front delts. So, a little, but they barely get any work. But this, it's probably just because the stack isn't heavy enough, but this will be a moderate set. Okay. It's been so long since I've done real overhead pressing. Yeesh. But back to the real work. Side delts. There we go. One more. And some dumbbell, I think. Okay. Let's do a little bit of cables. My shoulder's already, I think, 90% of the way there. I might only need one more set, but that'll be for you to find out and for me to discover. Okay. I think this will be a perfect finisher. 30-pound, single arm, incline benched lateral raises. And I know that sounds complicated, but it's just leaning up against the bench and doing one arm at a time. Nothing crazy. And I think this will be the last set. Oh my God. It's okay. Oh. Let's pose down. Shoulders down. There we go. All right, so shoulders pumped. I mean, to the point where they're fucking jumping out of the back of my shirt. Woo. Rear delts especially. So let's just see if we can get a little bit of a glimpse into the depths, glimpse into what the pump cover has been hiding, has been concealing this entire time. Oh. So this was kind of a real shoulder workout. I think the last one might have been like, I don't know how long ago. Because I'll throw shoulders in sometimes, but honestly, all I'm really doing it for is just to pump them up. Kind of, it's like if you got a project car, or if you got like an old car you're working on, like you want to start the engine every like couple months or something just to keep it moving. But this is kind of the first real fucking shoulder lift for, I think, the last maybe 6 months or so. And I tell you what, it fucking feels like it. Oof. Oh my God. Oh, well, there's not too many shoulder dedicated poses. They kind of just add to everything. Side chest fucking included. Youch. But all done now. Go home and grub, man. We're done. I'm going to be feeling my fucking shoulders. I am most definitely going to be feeling my fucking shoulders tomorrow. Probably even just later today. I'm not sure if you've ever, well, if you're a beginner, then yeah, sometimes you train muscles that you haven't hit for quite some time. But if you're already kind of deep into the gym, your full build is pretty much constantly stimulated. So anytime I ever give a muscle a break, like as of late, I've been chilling out on the back training. I kind of want my back's stimulation to chill so I can kind of prioritize chest, legs, arms. But since I haven't really hit back for a while, even if the back day that I do is going to be a little bit lighter squeezing focused, because I'm literally just not going to be, it's not like the strength is going to disappear, but the fact that I haven't done anything heavy for my back makes me want to ease into it rather than just immediately, try to fucking slam as much weight as I've ever done on pull downs and on seated rows and everything else. I'm definitely going to ease into it, do a bit more. Well, I say that. I'm sure if I feel good, I'll end up going a little bit heavier. But just since I haven't hit it for a little bit, for a while, I know it's going to be extra sore. And that's not a problem. That is not a problem for me. But what I'm kind of getting at by saying that, if you're a beginner, if you're kind of a newer guy, yeah, you're going to have to chill a little bit. If you take somebody through a legit workout, which they have not done before, like let's say you have a guy come in and do, like you have one of your buddies do your chest day, or do your leg day, or do whatever day you do, odds are it's really going to fucking hit him hard. If the guy's never actually lifted that kind of weight before and actually gone through that much like fucking stress before. So yeah, As a beginner, I think you're most, I don't know if I'd say prone, but rest days are going to be most necessary for you. But as you lift and as you get more and more exposed to weights, you're going to kind of get over that. Like, it's not like you're not going to get sore, right? I still get sore. But even if my legs are a little bit sore, that doesn't mean that I suddenly skip the next lift. If I had chest planned, or if I had arms planned, you know, if my back is sore, that doesn't mean I can't hit anything else. So I think people need to be a little bit tougher in a way. And maybe tough's not the right word, but I feel like for the most part, lifts get skipped unnecessarily, and rest days get taken purely out of, well, let's just say purely motivated by comfort, not so much by necessity. I mean, if your legs are fucking, you know, sore to the point where even squatting down onto the toilet is like, you can fucking feel it, then yeah, you might not be the most energized to go walk around and, like, you know, walk the dumbbells off the rack or anything else for, you know, for arms or chest or whatever. But don't let that stop you, man. I mean, come on. You know, go fucking hard. But like I said, that's kind of something that gradually you get used to over time. Because as a beginner, you're not used to that stimulus. But once you've lifted for long enough, I mean, I never really took rest days ever, apart from when they were necessary. I mean, like if we were like traveling or something, or if I had like a diving meet or something, I'd wait till after that to work out. But I mean, even as a fucking natural character at, you know, 16, 17, I mean, I was kind of lifting straight through the whole time. And of course, I think that I may be a little bit pre-trained before I started working out, because before I started actually lifting weights and kind of starting this whole bodybuilding pursuit, I was already pretty athletic as a kid, like, you know, doing a couple hour diving practices. But I think what really did it for me was I used to do gymnastics, right? Swinging around bars and stuff, you know, whatever. Pretty fucking high activity level for like 3 hours a day. And that was 6 days a week. That was Monday through Saturday. We had Sunday off. So I think I kind of set myself up for success inadvertently, because before I started working out, I already had like a 3 hour time period of like pretty intense activity. So, fuck, man, you know, maybe if you didn't have that beforehand, then, I mean, that's just a different scenario. But as far as I was concerned, if I wake up every day and I eat breakfast every day and eventually realize I'm going to do my cardio every day, and you've also got to kind of understand, or at least I think it's fine if I can lift every day, man. But I'm also saying that because I like it. You know, if you're not like, I mean, I'll hear guys where, and maybe not even hearing, I'm just kind of guessing, but I'm sure there's a pretty large percentage of people who have never really worked out before who really don't want to. They really do not want to lift. They want to look big. You know, they want to walk the walk. No, they want to talk the talk without walking the walk. I mean, that's for somebody that doesn't want to, you know, work out and be sweaty. You know, that's their ideal situation. But they're missing out. I always end up, like, any gym banter I have with guys, it always, not always, but sometimes it kind of boils down to, you know, talking about people who don't work out. And the perception of the gym to, I mean, literally just like anybody on the outside of it, anybody who hasn't really, you know, been in a weight room for any serious period of time, I think the most often that they see a gym or the gym reference is just in like TV, and we're kind of easing away from it. But, you know, the muscle gym rat jock TV character still fucking exists pretty strongly. So anybody from the outside, they don't understand. You know, they can't even fathom just how cool it really is. So I guess that's just for us to enjoy. That's for the insiders to say. They don't know what they're missing out on. They don't know what they're missing out on. But, yeah, plan for tomorrow. Nasty back pump. Nah, well, I'll decide then. Because maybe I'll add calves, maybe I won't. I know that I want to do calves on my leg day, so that's going to be in, like, well, soon. because it's going to go back, arms, legs, so 3 days. But I know I want to do calves then, but they're not sore, so I think I should do calves. Well, how about I think about it? Either way, calves will be done reasonably soon. Another highly unstimulated and neglected muscle group. Come on, guys. I'm not going to dog on you for it. I'm just stating the facts. But gonna go home and grub, take a nap, and repeat. The perfect day. The perfect routine for the lifter. So I'll see you then.